Hey guys, it's Derek and Kelsey, and we just got back from New Orleans, Louisiana. So we wanted to sit down and tell you all about our trip because it was amazing. So it was our first vacation getaway together ever. So I was, excited, but also kind of nervous because I've never traveled with him before. So it turned out to be amazing. But we flew out of Allegiant Airlines. And I think our tickets were like $60, so it was a really affordable trip, and we were just like, F it, let's book it, let's go. The flight was only like 2 hours?
Yeah, it was 2 hours. We ended up getting an Airbnb down there. It ended up being $95 a night, I think. It was about 10 minutes from everything that we did.
I was glad we stayed in an Airbnb because all of the houses and all the architecture in New Orleans is so beautiful that it was cool to stay in an old traditional New Orleans house.
Yeah, and I've been to New Orleans twice now and stayed in a hotel both times, and I never got to see the neighborhoods, the houses, how they're set up. So to stay in this neighborhood and stay in an Airbnb around those houses was pretty cool.
Yeah. So we landed in NOLA at 2?
Yeah, we got there about 2:30. It was a half-hour Uber ride to our Airbnb.
And we couldn't check into our Airbnb until 4.
Yeah, so we had to kill some time. So we found what was it called?
Crescent City Steakhouse.
Crescent City Steakhouse.
It was delicious.
Not known for their steaks, I don't think, but
so good.
This place was amazing. It was probably the best steak I've ever had.
Just popped in there, got a couple of $30 steaks, and had ourselves a good little time.
Yeah.
We got an Uber to our Airbnb, which ended up being 2 blocks away from the steakhouse, so we could have walked, but we got an Uber. And like I said, we couldn't check in until 4, so we just hung out on the porch of our Airbnb for a while. We actually shot a video of us just hanging out on the porch. Guys, we made it to NOLA, and that's Derek in the background. We got to our Airbnb before our check-in time, so we're just hanging out on the front porch, and it's actually legit the cutest Airbnb ever. Look how it's perfect temperature here. I would say it's 65 probably. 65. Very comfortable. So we're hanging out, waiting to get inside so we can charge this phone and shower and kind of regroup and then figure out what we're gonna do the rest of the night.
Next, we took everyone's recommendation so we had 2 Ubers at this point now, and they both told us to stay away from Bourbon Street to go to Frenchman Street.
Bourbon Street had a bunch of construction.
Yes.
To be fair.
But Frenchman Street apparently was the new hangout for more local residents, because Bourbon Street is just kind of a touristy area.
Yeah.
It's always overcrowded, always crazy.
We went to Frenchman Street, sorry. Didn't we get there at it was early. It was 5 or something?
No, we got there probably 7-ish. Yeah. So, because we got there, it was dark. Whatever. So we went there because both Uber drivers told us that was the place to go, and it had live music in almost every bar there. And there was a cool little art show that they had set up. It was just a really cool place.
So we went to Cafe Negril, which was kind of a Rasta vibe to it, and there was this live band there that was amazing.
Oh yeah.
The guy, the lead singer, had such a unique, cool voice, and he looked like he was maybe 27 on stage, but he walked past us and he was at least 65.
Yeah.
It was so
weird.
It was so strange. And then we went to that art show, vendor fair thing, and then we wandered into this place called 3 Muses and got dessert and drinks. So Derek got the best thing he had, probably.
Yeah, it was a close tie, but this time I got a peanut butter pie, which I believe we have a picture of.
Peanut butter pie picture. And
yes.
I got a cocktail called a Champagne Supernova, which was champagne and grapefruit juice, and was delicious. And there was a guy playing cello in the corner of this place. It was very classy and very cute. And we wandered out of there and we ran into this. So I guess that's like pretty standard for New Orleans. This was my first trip there, so I was just like in awe and so excited, and you know, we took a million Snapchats and we were cracking up about how cool it was and blah blah blah. So but that was pretty much our first night.
And the second day started.
Then the second day started. The second day was Saturday.
So I had told her I'm one of those people that likes to be aware of my surroundings at all times. No matter what we do, we both just can't get drunk at the same time. And that's exactly what happened.
So Saturday morning though, before we got drunk, we woke up, got coffee, came back and hung out on the porch because the game wasn't until 11 a.m. local time. So we had to kind of just hang out and kill time per usual. So we hung out on the porch for a little while, called an Uber and went to Mid-City Yacht Club, which is kind of just an overall sports bar, but the owners are Cajun Buckeyes, so they're OSU alumni that you know, host kind of Buckeye watch parties at their bar every Buckeye game day. So we were super excited to watch with them. We got all decked out in our Buckeye gear and we were like ready to go. We had brunch there, which was delicious, and had quite a few mimosas and Irish coffees.
Vodka diets.
Vodka diets. Just being around like OSU fans, I think, just made us really comfortable. You know, people were yelling out OH, and we had him with the IO, obviously. And it was a good game. I mean, OSU killed Michigan State. Although there were a ton of Michigan State fans there.
There were, yes.
And a ton of Penn State fans for some reason. I don't really understand it, but.
Our next plan was to go home, chill for a second, because we were both feeling a little drunk. So we went home, and that's when we decided we should go to Bourbon Street.
Well, okay, so we were like, let's go during the day because maybe it won't be too like crazy with tourists and stuff. And at this point, it was like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and we were like, let's just go now and we'll check it out.
And I believe we have video.
Yes.
Of when we first got there.
Tell the people where we are, babe.
Right now we're on the touristy Bourbon Street, which. What is it?
This corner, we only allow the drunkard and smiling people. But I'm saying he's working on it, but he's not smiling and he's not partying, is making it nervous.
They're having like dance competitions and people twerking on stage.
We got there, yeah, and people were blacked out at like 4. It was crazy. We stayed out on Bourbon Street for quite some time. Obviously, we were kind of just watching the drunk people and making fun of them for a while, and then we joined them. We kept like bouncing between these 2 bars. One was called the Swamp, which was hilarious because people were they were playing some like hip hop in that club, so we were like hanging out, listening. They had Heinekens. There's 3 Heinekens for $8, so I was like chugging those. And then what was the bar across the street?
I can't remember the name of it.
I don't know, but they had a stage and they had a hype man and a hype woman on the stage. And you know, from the time we got there at like 4 in the afternoon until we left, these dudes and the dude and the chick were just, you know, getting people to twerk and like flip cups off their butt. And we ended up running into these 2 girls that were wasted and were there to celebrate that their aunt had beaten brain cancer for the 2nd time.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
So like, well, they just like came up to us and they're like,
she was there drinking too, right?
She was. We were just kind of on the floor like drinking and having a good time, and they were telling Derek that he looks like Huck from Scandal, which he had no idea who that was. So once he saw who that was, I think he was a little offended, but whatever. So they were like mesmerized by that, but they were, you know, they were our age. They were like kind of drunk, but looked like they were having fun. So we ended up hanging out with these 2 girls. And we went from God knows where. We just went bar hopping with them for the rest of the night, and I ended up on a mechanical bull somehow, which is the first time I've ever ridden one of those in my life.
The the end of our night. We went back to our Airbnb, got some Postmates.
We got some Subway. I forgot about that.
Yes, that was the best meal we had in New Orleans probably. So
that was the end of Saturday. So Saturday was really, really fun. We knew that was like the day that we were gonna drink kind of heavy at all. Like I said, we were planning on being drunk at the same time, but it just went down that way. But we made it back safely, so that's all that really mattered. Sunday, we were just hungover as all get out, so we didn't really make it out until like 1 o'clock.
Stayed in bed until like 12:30.
It was rough, but obviously being in New Orleans, it was my first time, Derek's third, and you had never tried a beignet, right?
No.
I hadn't either, obviously. So we went to Cafe Beignet, which ended up being on Bourbon Street, I think.
Yeah.
So we went back to Bourbon Street and we tried beignets. So
And this next video is from, so after Cafe Beignet, we walked around and explored a little bit. We walked down Canal Street.
we went downtown, went to Canal, went to the river.
We went to the river. We planned on getting on the ferry because apparently going across and coming back, you get a really good view of the city. We didn't do that. Still feeling pretty terrible, so we just sat there for half hour or so.
People watched.
People watched, took some pictures maybe,
I don't think we did.
But so at this point it was time to eat again. We went to a place called
New Orleans Seafood and Hamburger Company, I think it was called. Maybe Po' Boy and Hamburger Company.
I don't remember.
Anyways, we just were hungry, so we found this place, waltzed in, sat at the bar, and Derek ordered a po' boy because he wanted to get something like legit New Orleans. I got the Bwwm pasta, which was so delicious. It was just like a shrimp pasta, but we do have a video of Derek trying his first po' boy.
Yes, also again with stuff all over my mouth. So here it is.
So after eating some legit New Orleans food, we went back to the Airbnb to chill because we were still just feeling like rough from the night before. We're not 21 anymore. So we hung out back at the Airbnb. I was actually feeling like really tired, so I was kind of just ready to call it a night. But every Uber driver, every server, everyone we talked to that was like, oh, you guys aren't from here, they told us we had to go to this place called Hot Tin Roof, which was a rooftop bar. And
Hot Tin Roof Bar.
Oh, sorry. What was the
Ponchitarian punch.
It's at the top of a hotel, and I do have some footage of the view that was up there because it was gorgeous. So that was Hot Tin. Derek fake proposed to me up there. I was pretty pissed.
They proposed to her like 10 times on the street.
He kept like grabbing my hand and then like reaching for his pocket, and I was like,
yeah.
Anyways. So then we decided, we had like some Prosecco up there on the bar, but we wanted dessert. We were just in the mood for dessert, so we found this really cute place. This is actually a funny story. We found this cute place on Google Maps or something called Bakery Bar, and we decided that we could walk there. It was like a 20-minute walk, so we were like, we're just gonna do it, we're gonna walk there. So we start just like walking down the street, and we're walking and we're talking, and we're like, this is great, like this is gonna be so good, blah blah. And then Derek looks at his phone after like 15 minutes.
Well, it starts getting like really dark on the streets, and there's no street lights at all, and we're walking away from all the lights, and I'm like, okay, how far are we now? And it said like a 30. So we were walking, and it said 30-minute walk, and that's how we figured out we were walking the wrong way.
The entire time. So we turned back around. It got stopped by like 15,000 homeless people on the way back, all asking for cash and or food. And obviously we had to be like, no, sorry. And they were all like really pissed off.
Except for one guy. But he came up and said, look, I'm not even going to ask you for change or money. Can you please go go into this convenience store and buy me a V8 juice because I have stomach cancer and I haven't eaten in a few days. So he lifts up his shirt and he has a bag of blood hanging out of his stomach.
It was so gross.
Also mentioned something about the acidity, so his stomach couldn't take it or something. And I ended up getting him tomato soup, or tomato juice.
It was like Campbell's tomato juice.
Yes. Got him apple juice, orange juice, and cranberry juice. So all those probably had a ton of acidity. But I didn't know what to get him. I just got him anything.
Called an Uber and we're like, we're not walking this anymore. But when we were driving away in the Uber, I did see him like shaking up the tomato juice, so I think he legit like maybe needed it. So then we head to Bakery Bar, which we do have some footage of this bar. It was
So this is the last night of our trip in New Orleans, and we're at a bakery bar for dessert. Kelsea got a warm chocolate chip cookie and a glass of milk. And I have a piece of...
Ooh, that's good.
what is
Peanut butter cup.
Peanut butter
like
cup.
Cake or something?
Cake.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming right now, so I'll show you in a second. Awesome. Thank you very much. Oh my God. With a scoop of ice cream, of course. All right. I'm shutting this off because I can't wait to eat this. See ya. So that was just another video of me eating something.
It was just really cute. It was like small desserts and like I think dessert flavored like cocktails and then just like small plates of food. Just like a really cute idea, and I have no idea why Columbus doesn't have that, but super cute. Kind of finished off the night there, called an Uber, and just went back to the Airbnb and called it a night.
Yeah.
And then the next day was Monday, and our flight was scheduled for noon. So we just got up and got coffee again. Went to this place called Liberty's Kitchen for breakfast, which was inside of a Whole Foods, and it was so I don't think we have any pictures or anything of it, but it was like really good. Went to the airport, found out our flight was delayed, which kind of sucked, but it was only like an hour, so it wasn't that bad. And then just flew home. But we had an amazing time in New Orleans. I had so much fun. We passed the travel test together as a couple. We're not sick of each other yet, which is amazing. And we're still together, so I think it worked out.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys will take our recommendations if you do decide to visit New Orleans.
Hot 10, Frenchman Street,
Bourbon Street.
Three Muses on Frenchman Street is where
Yes.
that peanut butter pie was, and then Bakery Bar was really good too.
Yes.
Like, comment, and subscribe,
Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and
and we'll see you on the next video.
see you.